For many years, Caitriona Balfe, the star of the hit series Outlander, has always appeared in public with a strong, independent and successful image. However, behind that halo is a painful story about her marriage to her powerful husband, Anthony "Tony" McGill. Caitriona and Tony McGill married in 2019 in a private ceremony in England. Since then, she has shared almost nothing about her married life. Many people think that it is because she wants to maintain privacy, but the reality is completely different. According to a close source, Tony McGill is the controlling and imposing person in the relationship. He often checks Caitriona's phone, email and relationships, making her feel isolated and deprived of freedom. She is not allowed to go out alone. Every meeting must be approved by Tony in advance, the source revealed. Despite being a talented actress, Caitriona often had to turn down attractive projects because of her husband's interference. Tony believed that those roles were not suitable or would expose her to too many other men. This seriously affected Caitriona's career, making her feel held back and unable to develop her full potential. She used to dream of acting in big movies, but Tony always tried to stop her, a friend shared. Although there was no evidence of physical abuse, the signs of mental abuse were very clear. Caitriona often appeared tired, lifeless and avoided questions about her personal life. She also gradually withdrew from social activities, interacting less with friends and colleagues. Many people were worried about her mental state, but no one dared to speak up for fear of affecting Caitriona's career. Caitriona has recently opened up about her struggles in her marriage. In an interview, she admitted that she lived in fear and felt controlled for years. "I thought it was love, but it was control and domination," she said. She also said that she is trying to escape the toxic relationship and hopes to find herself again. After her story went public, her fan community expressed strong support for Caitriona. Many urged her to stay strong and seek help from organizations that support victims of abuse. Colleagues in the entertainment industry also voiced their support and encouraged her to continue pursuing her passion for acting. Caitriona is a strong and talented woman. She deserves to have a happy and free life, one colleague shared. Caitriona is now focusing on her mental recovery and seeking support from family and friends. She has also started working on new projects, hoping to regain her confidence and passion for her work. Caitriona's story is a reminder of the importance of recognizing and speaking out against emotional abuse in relationships. Hopefully she will soon find happiness again and continue to shine on screen. Caitriona Balfe, a star once praised for her inner strength and independent spirit, now faces a dark reality. Behind the glamorous appearances on the red carpet, behind the radiant smile in interviews, is a woman who is gradually fading away in a suffocating marriage. Caitriona once thought that love with Tony McGill would be the place where she found peace after the pressures of her career. Tony is a powerful music producer in the industry, who helped her build a discreet, elegant image, true to the different direction she always pursued. But those initial good things quickly turned into days of harsh control. Tony is not a hot-tempered person, but he is a master at emotional manipulation. Sentences like, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't need anyone else," or "Why do you need Sam Heughan so much in your career?" repeated like needles pricking Caitriona's self-esteem, bit by bit eroding her freedom and self-confidence. What's remarkable is that only Sam Heughan, her co-star and close friend for more than a decade, noticed that something was wrong. Sam said nothing, but his eyes were always watching Caitriona when she fell silent during photo shoots, or hurriedly retreated backstage after each taping. Sam tried to tell her during a night shoot, "If you ever need to escape someone's shadow, I'm here." But Caitriona just smiled, as if to avoid any trouble that a sincere answer might cause. In recent months, Caitriona had started calling a woman she had met at a women's advocacy organization. They didn't talk much, sometimes just a few sentences. But the feeling of being heard, understood, lifted her spirits. Tony was still unaware of those calls. But Caitriona's silence in front of him was no longer obedience but preparation. One day in May, Caitriona quietly left the apartment she shared in London. She brought only a small suitcase, along with the script of an independent film that was offering her the female lead role, a film that Tony had torn up the casting invitation for. She flew to Canada, where the film would start shooting in 3 weeks. There, she would live alone, taking care of everything without anyone coordinating for her. Leaving Tony was not because she stopped loving him, but because she realized what she was enduring was no longer love. It was an invisible prison that she had let herself be locked in. Caitriona's disappearance drove Tony crazy. He sent dozens of threatening emails, texted her, called her agent, the entire Outlander crew, and even publicly criticized her on a friendly entertainment news site. But this time, Caitriona did not stay silent. She asked her lawyer to intervene. She wrote a long letter to the press, not naming Tony, but talking about a partner who made me lose myself. The fan community exploded. The hashtag Stan with Caitriona trended for 24 hours. Since then, Caitriona has gradually come back to herself, stronger, more mature, but also more fragile in her old dreams. She filmed independently with a young crew. She did not need censorship in every step. She started writing, something Tony had once considered useless. She talked about her dark days, and how she came out into the light. And Sam Heughan was there. He asked no more questions. He simply said, "I'm proud of you, Balfe." And Caitriona, for the first time in years, cried, not because she was afraid, but because she finally felt free. In the pale light of a Toronto afternoon, Caitriona sat quietly on the steps of her temporary apartment. A cup of hot tea in her hand, a half-open script on her knees. No more stage lights, no more lavish parties, just her, and the precious silence she had felt for years. Her phone vibrated. It was Sam. "Are you okay?" A short text, but one that carried a genuine concern that no amount of flowery words could replace. Caitriona smiled, her eyes moist. "I'm learning to be okay, Sam. Thanks for always being there." Sam didn't reply right away. A moment later, just a blue heart icon, silent, gentle, and complete. That evening, Caitriona took to the small stage at a private event to share her journey through emotional abuse. She was no longer the proud Claire Fraser on screen, but an ordinary woman with a broken heart, but slowly recovering. And when the audience erupted in applause after her heartfelt speech, she knew she had come out of marital hell, not to run away, but to find her own voice. She was no longer the person living in fear. She was Caitriona Balfe, a person rewriting her own life.